changed my life. Not only because I'm doing this, but before I said to do this, it's just, I don't know, the words aren't there, but I know, you know what, you all know what it is because you can feel it as well. Now, what I said to Andy when I first met him, in fact, I first saw Ian and Karen, we first saw them, and Ian introduced me, and Andy was the first one to come over and say, lovely, thanks for coming, we'll help if you need to start a group. So I, stupidly, just said this, said it to the universe, oh, we should have one of these in Birmingham, I'd really like it. And he said, we'll help you. I said, oh no, I'm going to India, and I'm going travelling, and I can't, but I would love to. In fact, what I said was, I don't want to be an organiser, I want to do my own talk. Guess what? Still, I don't want to be an organiser, and I want to do my own talk. And you know what? I'm biting my tongue because I don't want to say anything else. The universe said, yeah, right, Vic, we'll give you that. Yeah, right, Vic, we'll give you that. And how I look at all this is it's just piecing this stuff together. Now, last year, I tried to do an open mic night. We tried a Vicky's au pair, and I tried to get across these pieces. These little pieces, these pieces of the puzzle. Now, I don't know if you can see, it's not the best picture. We've got a jigsaw puzzle piece here with little pieces inside. And I think that's how it goes. It's infinitely inwards and it's infinitely outwards. You can go really deep with these subjects, or you can just skim over the top. But either way, you're just picking up more pieces of this puzzle. And people you find, the conversations you have, the books you read, the films that you stumble across. Back down to religious things, some people find their message in the Bible. I find it on the side of a van, or on the edge of a Rizzler packet, and that's relevant to me. Now, my messages aren't going to mean nothing to you, and your messages aren't going to mean nothing to me, but they're relevant at that time, at that place, for that person, to redirect them in another way. As soon as we start seeing it like that and go with your gut feeling, you'll be amazed at what the universe gives you in reward. Now, the pieces that I've put together, a lot of them have come from TruthJuice. A lot. Here we go. There's a couple of people that I was thinking, some of the pieces. Darren, who was speaking this morning, was really important when getting my head around what's happening. And he was saying about, he did the goo talk and language. And he's talking about pieces. Talking about a jigsaw. Freeman, any Freeman in the room will know it is a jigsaw, one sentence. You take away the word, split the word up, split it up again, go to the Latin, find out what it means. Responsibility, are you able to respond? Really easy, but you don't see. Entrance, to be entranced. Television, tell why vision. Programs on the tell why vision. It's the words are in front of you. Now once you start looking at the words, you'll see we don't all understand the same words. And it's the first way we get lost. Now what we're doing is we're trying to evoke this feeling. Instead of finding the words, we can make people feel safe, feel happy, feel comfortable talking about this. It doesn't matter what words we use, it's the feeling that counts. Nick, sacred geometry, wow. If you haven't seen my tattoo, you're welcome to have a look. It's changed. Nick explains everything in terms of shapes. And everything is explainable in terms of shapes, which is phenomenal in itself. And the fact that you've got this triangle, and this triangle can have another triangle, can have another triangle, can go on forever. And that's how all the molecules in all the world have all been formed. Everything is to do with these shapes. The words that Darren's talking about are formed from the shapes of the shape. It's all a linking, and from a jigsaw puzzle, this piece fits with this piece. Before you know it, all these pieces start fitting together, and you see how vast the picture is. And you start to realise, there's more going on here than I first thought. The people that I found along the way, I couldn't list them all, because not only is everybody here and I'm bound to miss somebody out, but everybody's got an important part of the picture. For me, anyway. This is, I think, a good analogy, and I think it works on so many levels, is we're all climbing this mountain. We're all aiming to get to the top of this mountain. We don't know where we're going, we don't know why we're going there. We're all going up the top of the mountain, taking different routes. I'm not saying my route's right. Mine might be the rocky, dangerous side, probably. No, me. But if we're all heading the right direction, does it matter which route we're taking? Does it matter which way we're going about it? As long as we're going in the same direction, and when you go and you find somebody else along the way and help them up, everything else doesn't matter. Okay. The 5 stages. Now, this was something that one of the guys touched on an open mic for last year sometime, and he was talking about the world banking system. And he was an international banker that worked 15 years in the financial system and realised how they create money. And it blew his mind. And for 6 months, he went around asking all the top people in the company, did you know this? Did you know this? And he left his job, had a breakdown, and lost his head. Took him 6 months to get together, to get his head back together, to be able to present his talk, which was brilliant. But this is his 5 stages, which was, first thing we do, disbelief. I won't have that. No, mate. 9/11, conspiracy, yeah, all right. And then, I bet you a lot of people will relate to these two. Anger and depression. Who's been right? I'm angry with them. How can they do this? Nobody wants to listen to me. You can flick in between anger and depression for a long time. In fact, some people never get out of them. We've all got a friend like that. We've all got a couple. Acceptance. Once we accept that's what's happening, we look about it different. All right, I can be angry about it, can be depressed, but this is happening, whether I like it or not. What do we do then? Action. And I think this is why I wanted to finish the talk on this, because I don't want everyone to leave thinking, where do we go from here? Because there is a next step. We make the next step because you form it yourself anyway. So, I believe if you weren't already at action, you are by the end of this week. Because if you've not gone through those stages, come and see me and we can go through the others in 5 minutes, yeah? So, my brainstorming. So, I went through my diary actually the other day. I don't write a diary all the time, but when funky things happen, I have to put in a diary. And looking at when I first went to TruthJuice, when I first went and saw John Harris, and it was like a child story. I met this bloke, and he was really nice, and he said that I should go back. I'm really excited, I can't wait for next week. And he just kind of went on from there. I love going, I love mixing with the people, I love finding out new information, and I just felt good when I left. Bearing in mind, I'm used to doing 300 quid on a weekend and feeling shit for it, do you know what I mean? So this is a revelation for me. Interesting people, great conversation, using my mind, being able to go out and use my mind. I don't want to talk about EastEnders, I hate it. I don't want to talk about football, I hate it. Do you know what I mean? I want to talk about microbiology, astrophysics, do you know what I mean? If you're going to do it, do it properly, stimulate it. Now, what I thought, what my original thought was, the 2 aspects of TruthJuice were, bearing in mind, this is on a weekly basis, not a gathering, this is how I looked at it from a weekly, but the principle is exactly the same, which is, you've got the information and the dissemination of the information, underused phrase, and then the network and the community. I don't know about you, but I've missed loads of workshops that I would have loved to have gone to because I've been talking to somebody having a cup of tea because that conversation was so intense and so important at that time. Now, these 2 sectors are just as important as each other. The reason why I went wasn't just to hear the information. I wanted to have a cup of tea with my mates. And that's what people have become. They are my mates, which is crazy because I've known people for 20 years and I can't talk about what's on my mind with them because I think I've gone mad. And yet I've known people for a couple of months and I feel more at home to say anything that I want. Now, that's what TruthJuice is to me. It's a safe place. It's a safe place to say these things, to feel these things. I think as a community, we've lost that community feel. And as far as just being in a group, it's enough. When do we sit round and talk? They've shut down the pubs, they've shut down the community buildings. People don't go to church, they don't go to parent class, they don't do anything like my parents and my grandparents used to do. They'll sit inside watching the X Factor. So I go to Asda to get a couple of pints so we don't have to go to the pub. And if you've got a pub that's open, do you see where I'm going? This is important. This is, in fact, where the revolution is going to start. the grassroots, where people are saying, look, we need to get together, we need to talk, sit around a fire. Who needs medicine? Who needs to go to the doctor when you've got a community and a fire and food and shelter? Why would you feel bad because the people around you are eating their medicine? Now, so, the two parts, the information and the networks. What happened was, organically, we had this network, started making its own speakers. The information in the audience was just as good as the information on the stage. So, it became a platform for new speakers to be able to talk in this safe place. Because we don't have a peer group anymore. You've left school, work, I don't know about you, but when I did have a job, a couple of weeks of it, I didn't feel myself at work. You wear this mask at work, nobody really knows. I know people who smoke loads of weed, have been at work for like 20 years, and nobody they work with would even dream that they did what they do at home. And it's like, well, they're not your friends, are they? They're just acquaintances. Now, I believe places like this breed real friendships, because you can be yourself. And once you're yourself, and you know that somebody's accepting you for being yourself, that's a real friendship in the making. So, this network has grown far, far, far bigger than we could ever imagine. And I know that Andy and Tracy never dreamed we'd have what we've got now, and the potential is huge. And the more I look into it, and the more people come and tell us, and feedback is, it's just going to explode. This is going to explode. Not because of us, not because of Tracy, but because this is what the people want. This is what the network, everyone who comes says, I've needed this, I wanted this, I've been looking for this for years. I went to Andy's group. I haven't been since Christmas, I've been so busy. I've been twice up to see Corbin. And there was a guy there who's come up to the front, really excited at the front. So, what's this? What do you mean? The fluoride in the water. What do you mean? And you could see him excited about it. Really? Really? And I've left, I've got in my car, and I've come up and he goes, so, do you come to TruthJuice often? Do you do it? I've gone, oh yeah, I run Birmingham TruthJuice. He goes, there's a TruthJuice in Birmingham? Oh my God, it's great, it's great. And he's gone, TruthJuice is the highlight of my week. I spend the whole week looking forward to a Wednesday. And you know what, I went away and it warmed my heart because he meant it. He wouldn't have said it if he didn't mean it. And you can see that he's changing. And he's becoming more of himself, and he's becoming more at home, and he can feel that it is a safe place. Now, this network that's growing, this is where we're at the moment. It's just going so big, we can't cover it, because the ideas, the support, self-awareness, new friendships, it's flying out. Now, I've made a point of trying to speak to everybody. I've missed people out. I'm sorry, I'm working on it, but do you know how many ideas we've got in this room about what we can do, where we can go? Potential, I don't know, other festivals, potential workshops, meditation groups, all sorts. Just from in this room. We don't need to go and do it externally here. Just need to talk to each other. Now, I've been trying to get my head around what TruthJuice is. Now, we all need an objective or a mission statement. Now, whether this be a company, whether it be a couple, whether it be a family, I'm a firm believer that if everybody knows where we're going, we'll get there. And the other thing is management and leadership are two different things. The leader is saying where we're going and what our direction is. A manager makes sure that all the things are in the right place at the right time to do whatever it is we want to do. Different jobs. And if you look at companies that go wrong, you can see that the manager is trying to be a leader, and it can get very confusing. Now, if we lead together with a group objective, then we shouldn't be any leaders, because we're all climbing the mountain, and the tip of the mountain is the objective. I brainstormed on this, and I tried to get my head around what it is that is our objective. Well, first, truth. If I had a penny for every time I'd like to debate what truth is, whose truth is, I'd be, But the word again is flawed. What we're aiming to do is just make people mindful and aware, make people think, is that true? My favourite, all the birds died with harp and set in the sun. They were all drunk. Is that true?